I'd like to start by saying, first of all, how proud I feel at the spectacle I've just seen, and I would like to thank all the children for their dressing up and all the community for coming out. Thank you very much indeed. It's been absolutely fabulous. This is a few patriotic days where we've had the Queen's 90th birthday yesterday, we have St George's Day tomorrow, we have 400 years since Shakespeare's death tomorrow as well. So it's a great time to celebrate our country, but we've also tried to recognise the multinational aspects of St George, and as you've seen if you watch the parade, he is patron saint of many countries across the world. So we're all proud to be global citizens. I'd like to say some thank yous for the parade. First of all to the police. Are they here? Yes. Can we give the police a huge cheer? They held all that traffic back and they were absolutely brilliant. They weren't as popular on the road ends, I understand. But thank you very much, it's much appreciated. Can I thank the staff of the school for working so hard amongst everything else, all the SAT tests getting this parade together. Can we give them a huge round of applause? And then to Workington Academy, without who we could have not done this parade. They provided the support for the Dragon. The Dragon was made between the two schools. They provided the band and support in the walking, and they have been absolutely fantastic in their support of this school. So can we give everyone from Workington Academy a huge round? And then thank you to all of you for being here. So we want to get in the patriotic mood, so we're going to sing some patriotic songs, we're going to listen to some patriotic music, and you're going to be listening and hearing some drama and some writing on St George. So a piece from the Working Academy Orchestra. As some of you may have noticed during the parade, St George is patron saint of Ethiopia, which is in Africa, and this is a traditional African tune they're going to play, Sia Hamba. Okay, we now have some entertainment for you from the Working Academy Year 7 drama group. They're going to do a St George's Day rap. It was written by some children in Year 12, and some of our ex-pupils and some other pupils are here to act it out. I think they're going to tell a story from different perspectives.
Now, this is a story all about how, when my brain got flipped upside down, when a dragon scared the city who didn't play fair, I'll tell you how we planned to make a meal in my hair. One person a week was given to the beast in exchange for a feast. You work until a dollar was left for a job, but what can you do? It's part of the job.
My name is Lynn, with wealth and living. My beauty is renowned and it won't be hidden. My life was great and my life was a winner until a dragon came along and wanted me for dinner. So a hunter came along, said he'd fix this mess, so he took to the dragon, which is sorry to his guest. There I was about to eat my supper when I was disturbed by this nutter. I was so tired and I stopped coming. Most of them just end up running. Everybody jumps on the most of the dragon, God by child. Riding on the horse with a fresh day dew, driving past the city when I got a nice view. Princess there, she was looking well good, pretty and fair like a maiden should. Straight to a dragon, she was on her way, knew what I should do, so watched me slay.
welcome the Workington Academy Choir, who are going to sing us The Rose.
Come here, don't run away now.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed. It's a heart afraid of aching, that never learns to dance. It's a dream afraid of waking, that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give. I'm a soul afraid of dying, that never learns to live. See that with the sun's love in the spring becomes strong.
Okay, we now have some Working Academy Year 7 English students. And they're going to be reading their own written work on Tales from St. George and the Dragon.
Surely they want me to stay. I mean, they keep feeding me, accommodating me, treating me like a house guest. I prowl the streets at night, mocking the fathers that will one day feed me a daughter, or maybe some livestock. I'd leave willingly, but it's clear as crystal that they wish me to stay. What? They're offering me another? A beautiful woman in regal attire. She looks like a princess. She's walking closer, tears streaming down her cheeks. Closer still she wanders, becoming more upset with every stride. The maiden stops and drops to her knees. I don't want to hurt her. She looks so terrified. Terrified of me. Her hands clasped together in prayer as more tears escape her wide pleading eyes. Her green orbs flick up to look into my hollow dark ocular cavern. She reassigns her gaze to her hands and resumes her prayer of mercy. I step closer to her. Her breath hitches and she flinches away. I step closer again. She stays frozen and shocked, her jade eyes tinting cyan in the springtime flare. I hear commotion behind me, and the maiden's eyes brighten. I turn around to be greeted by an armed knight bounding toward me on a horse. I gasp slightly in surprise. He's bearing his lance, protruding from his armored digits and pointing directly at me. I edge in front of the maiden, protecting her, shielding her from the wrath of this turbulent and invasive knight. Swiftly and mercilessly, he plunges the lance into my chest, puncturing my vital beating organ. I feel my structure go limp under the weight of my scaly being. The last thing I hear is the maiden's cries of freedom and disbelief. Momentarily, it all goes black.
George. We've all heard of him, right? But do we really know who he is? This is his story. The story starts when George was born into a Christian family in Lydia, Syria, in the Middle East, in the late 3rd century between 275 and 285 AD. After this, very little known is known about George's life, but it is thought that he was a high-ranking officer in a Roman army. This next bit is the bit that we all should know about. He took part in a small town called Slane, England. It's thought that George came over to England on some leave from the army. Slane, a small town that was slowly being devastated and terrorised by a lonesome dragon. This dragon slowly began to get a taste for the farmer's sheep, but slowly the sheep were in decline. Get ready for this now, it's about to take a turn for the worse. There were no sheep left. The dragon still wanted bed. He'd now got a taste for the village girls. The king decided that the only fair way to do this was to draw names out of a hat. So every maiden in the village was put in the hat, young or old, including the king's daughter. The day soon came round when the daughter of the king was next in line to be sacrificed. He tried to save his daughter, but he couldn't do a thing. She went down by the lake just as a royal bride. The dragon threw his flames and edged closer to the helpless maiden. Then appeared the brave St. George, perched up high on his steed, with a lance in his hand, and he was ready for this fight. The dragon was as tall as a church spire, as wide as a forest, as loud as the town on market day, and that was saying something. It was a fresh field green, with rubies as eyes. This was the fight that George was ready for. He charged forward, lance at the ready. One strike and he was down. That treacherous reptile was gone, plain for all to see. Victory, sweet victory belonged to George. The village was so honoured to have met this kind, brave man. They decided to build a church as a tribute to George. George died on the 23rd of April 303 AD. By the 14th century, the saint had been declared both patron saint and protector of the royal family. So every April 23rd, we celebrate the death of St. George. April, dear diary. Today was not like any other day in Slane. It was special. George, who will soon to be known as St. George, smote the terrifying dragon that lurked around for food. Our town has been terrorised by the hungry dragon for many years now, and it's all over. The scaly dragon devoured everything in sight, animals, crops, humans, and even market stalls. Today the lovely maiden was offered to the beast by her father, the king, as a sacrifice. When the town heard about it, they were furious. They protested, sent letters, but it was not enough. The king had made his mind up. She was to be brutally murdered, her innocence taken to feed this monster. However, once the word had spread to George's town, he didn't just stand there and watch, he did the opposite. George came to the rescue. George was ready to battle with his red and white shield and armour. He was ready. George pierced a scaly emerald dragon in the chest, but the dragon was not backing down. The dragon stood tall and hungry, defying George, his eyes fixed on the princess, ready to take his victim. Just as the dragon bared his teeth to the town, George was being resilient and tried one last time. After sweat, blood, bruises, cuts, and a lot of hard work, he finally smote the treacherous reptile. The full town complimented George after his brave effort to kill the dragon. For the hard work, our town decided to build a church in honour of the saint. We'll all remember this day.
Fantastic writing. Well done. There will always be an England. Mr. Bedford, the Deputy Head of Workington Academy, to come and say a few words. I think I'll need to move the microphone up.
Well, good morning, everyone. I want to start off by saying what a fantastic event. I'm sure you'll agree with me. It's been a great day, great morning, great weather, and what makes it so special for me is not just the fact that we've got Workington Academy and Beckstone pupils here, but we've got so many members of the community making it such a special event. And as with all these kinds of things, lots and lots of work goes on in the background. So I want to do some very specific thanks, and I want to start off by thanking the music team, and I'm going to ask them to actually give you a wave so we can see them before we do give them a round of applause. So Mr. Dalgleish, Miss Fitzsimons, Mrs. Humes, could you put your hands up, give us a wave, and could we give them a round of applause, please? And although they're not here, the art department, which are led by Mrs. Murphy, have put loads of effort into the dragon. I'm sure you agree it was really quite spectacular. So even though in their absence, can we give them a round of applause, please? Now I can do this, but you can't. So to Mr. Waldrick and his team for doing such an amazing job. The students, the pupils look fantastic, particularly the reception and all those princesses. So a massive round of applause to the staff of Beckstone Primary, please. And quite rightly, the final thanks has to go to the young people of our community. The choir, the orchestra, the students, the sixth formers involved in the artwork, and to every member of this school. So the biggest round of applause today, please, has to go for our young people. Well done to every single one of them. And my final message is linked to St George, and I don't know if you know much about him, but he's not English. He never even set foot in this country. He actually gave his life for his belief. He was a Christian, and it's hard to see how is that relevant to us now, but I think there's a really strong message in there for all our young people in our community, which is never give up. Always strive to do your best. Always strive to be resilient, and ultimately to be the very best you can be.